Hey everybody, welcome back to Large Man Abroad. Let's have a talk. So we've been diving into this dystopia that is 2025 in America, and you've thought about leaving this country. But you wonder, where can I move to? I hear it's very difficult to go to other countries. Don't we have all these crazy visa regulations? Listen, it's not really something that you have to worry about that much if you have an American passport or a Western passport in general, honestly. But in this video, we're gonna give you 5 countries that Americans can move to easily. So let's just get into it.
If you're looking to live abroad long-term, legally, easily, and without burning your savings, these 5 countries give Americans the easiest path out. Number 1, Mexico. Tourists can stay for up to 180 days. If you can meet very reasonable income or savings threshold requirements, you can easily get a temporary residency visa. In a mid-sized Mexican city, cost of living can run you anywhere from $1,000 to $1,500 USD, and there are easy flights, strong expat community, and no language requirement for residency.
It's absolutely correct. Mexico is a fantastic place to live, and guess what? It's super cheap to fly there. A lot of the countries that you're thinking about moving to on the other side of the world, it's kind of expensive to get out there, especially if you want to bring your stuff. But guess what? You move down to old Mexico, you can just throw everything in a truck and just go down there. You can live in a place like Merida. You can go to Oaxaca. You can go to Puerto Vallarta. There's plenty of expats there. There's a huge community of foreigners who live there. Of course, stay away from Tulum because it's just an Instagram hellscape at this point. Bacalar is beautiful. Cancun's a nightmare. You want nothing to do with it. But there are places all over Mexico that are worth going to. I used to love Condesa in Mexico City, but it's just become so freaking expensive there because of all the short-term rentals. Airbnb is a plague to anyone who wants to move abroad or just go visit a place for a while. It just makes it completely unreasonable to go anywhere. But if you do go to Condesa, please get a churro for me because they're delicious. But another reason to go there is just that it's a lot safer than people think it is. Yes, there are high crime areas, just like there are anywhere in the world. Stay away from the border, yeah, why not? But there's plenty of places in Mexico that you can not just live, but you can thrive and have a great life. And the visa is super easy to get. You don't need much money to live down there still. Though the Mexican peso is gaining strength against the US dollar, at the same time, it's still very affordable, as long as you're not in the tourist areas.
Number 2, Turkey. You can spend 90 days on a tourist visa, or you can get a 1-year residency permit easily in most cities. Cost of living in places like Izmir or Antalya can run you $900 to $1,300 a month USD. There's incredible food, amazing coastlines and culture, and Istanbul is nearby for big city lovers.
For those who are new to this channel, my wife is Turkish and I've spent a lot of time in Turkey. And I can tell you that it is an underrated destination for travel. Life there is fantastic. The food is spectacular. The quality of meat is great. You actually, listen, I was blown away by how good the food was in Turkey. Truly I was. I was living in Greece for a long time before we went there for an extended period of time, for marriage arrangements and to meet family and all that stuff and to go to a wedding. And we got to travel around and be in different areas. And I can say Izmir is absolutely a fantastic place to live. I mean, the city is just absolutely booming. In America, we think of it as just another Muslim country, but it's nothing like that at all. And if you know anything about Turkish history, it's an incredibly fascinating culture. And it thrives and it's very diverse. And as much as I do love Izmir, and I have to say, it's really hard for me to compare Izmir to Istanbul, whether if I want to live in one or the other. But if I was going to live in one, I'm going to have to upset the family on this one and say that Izmir kind of edges out Istanbul. Although I love Kadıköy. I love Kadıköy so much. It's beautiful, but hey, personal preference. But no, the food's great. The people are great. The people are friendly. They're hospitable. Of course, it is a Muslim culture and you have to understand that, but it isn't what Americans think it is. It isn't what the West tells us it is. Turkey's a fantastic place and has some of the greatest beaches I have ever seen. Some of the greatest geological diversity I have ever seen. I mean, it is a stunning country. Go visit Turkey. Do yourself a favor. And guess what? It's pretty inexpensive to live there. Properties are expensive, yeah, but everything else, very affordable. Very affordable. You can find a decent place to rent, especially in Izmir, you're set.
Number 3, Colombia. You can stay 180 days. That's 90 days as a tourist with a 90-day extension. Or you can get a digital nomad visa if you meet a very modest monthly income requirement. Cost of living in cities like Medellin or Pereira can run as low as $900 to $1,200 a month USD. And it's great because there's spring weather year-round, vibrant cities, and very low rent.
Honestly, I've kind of avoided going to Colombia in my travels, and I can say that that's been a mistake, especially now because it is a place that's getting more expensive in the safer areas. And of course, it does have a lot of safety issues in more tourist areas. There is a good bit of crime. Colombia is notorious for it. You can fight me in the comments about it, but yeah, it's just a fact. I'm sorry. But would it stop me from going there? Would it stop me from taking my family there? No, because you just gotta know where you're going. You gotta do your research, reach out and meet people online. Go to expat groups for Colombia, for any city in Colombia you want to go to, and get a feel for the landscape just through recommendations or stories from people on there. It's a good way to do research beyond just going on Reddit or going on Google. Really, it is. But there is a reason why so many people from America have been choosing to move to Colombia to retire. Whether you're just talking about the weather year-round being fantastic, the food being amazing, the women being lovely, and the traditional values that still thrive in countries throughout South America, in a beautiful balance with a lot of progressive values that make the modern world worth living in. I mean, it's a great place. It's a great place to check out.
Number 4, Albania. Americans can legally stay for 1 full year visa-free, and in cities like Tirana or coastal towns like Vlore, I'm sure I'm butchering that pronunciation. Cost of living can run as low as $700 to $1,000 a month USD. You can get Mediterranean lifestyle at half the price in Albania.
Albania is a highly underrated country. It's beautiful. If you've been to the Mediterranean in general, you've definitely met Albanians and you just didn't even know it. They're incredibly friendly, incredibly nice, very family-centric people. The cost of living in Albania, if you look at a place like Tirana, just go on Airbnb and have a look on how much like a monthly rental is there. It's still outstandingly affordable. I mean, and you still have a great amount of culture in that country. In the north, you have fantastic natural beauty. You have a beautiful coastline. Albania is often looked over as far as a destination to live or travel to. And again, it's a shame, and maybe you should give it a chance. Now, getting to Tirana can be a little bit tricky, but if you find Greece too unaffordable, Albania is definitely an option.
Number 5, Georgia. Americans can again get 1 full year visa-free, and cost of living in a city like Tbilisi or Batumi can run as low as $800 to $1,100 a month. There are beautiful mountains, amazing wine, fast internet, and 0 red tape.
Now, I actually have a couple friends that I served with in the Marine Corps that moved to Georgia, and I can say that they are always telling me to move there. It's a very family-friendly, conservative country. The costs are low. There's a lot of natural beauty, but you do have a little more seasonal weather. So if you're not a fan of cold, maybe you don't want to go to Georgia. But again, it is its own country with its own people, and it's incredibly affordable, and it's incredibly open to having Americans come and move there and bring their money into the economy and be treated well. And like they said, in any of these countries, you can find a standard of living that rivals, if not surpasses, what you get in America, because the bang for your buck is just far better than what you get in America. It is. If you're worried about paying for healthcare all the time in America, like we just had our kid, right? And through our insurance, through my workplace right now, we're looking at $400 per bi-monthly paycheck. That is a lot of money. That's $800 a month. That's $9,600 a year that I have to pay just to make sure that we have healthcare. But living in a country where it's just affordable, and even if you get healthcare coverage, you wouldn't be paying close to that. Because in a lot of these countries out there, what you're going to notice is healthcare is either free or it's super cheap, and you could just go and pay $20, $100, and it's done. It's over with. Instead of paying $9,600 a year, which is a lot of money that a family could use to actually put into building their life. And beyond that, the food costs are going to be cheaper, entertainment's going to be cheaper. If we're comparing political situations of other countries to our countries right now, you could absolutely say that in most of these countries, even in Mexico right now, their politics seem to be much more stable than our politics in America. It's just a weird world we're living in. But to be honest, the best life you can possibly have in America, if you're not freaking loaded, is to just bail and leave America. And you shouldn't feel guilty about that. You shouldn't feel guilty about trying to have a better life. Doesn't matter what people say to you. Your life is your own, and you have to remember that. So pursue that. These are 5 easy countries for Americans to move to. Do your research. If you have any questions, I've been to 4 of these countries, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And I know a good bit about the visas for each of these countries as well. So just throw them down in the comment section. I'll answer what I can. And if not, I'm sure there's somebody else down there that can answer. But hey, we appreciate you as always. If you're interested in joining our fitness journey, our 100-day weight loss challenge, I think today is day 5, hop over to Large Man Health, have a view, have a subscribe. It's very positive, very informational, embarrassing project that I have going on right now. But it's a completely shift in tone from this channel. Absolutely. But going over there, and other than that, hey, like and subscribe, thinking about becoming a member. And as always, live your best life, and we appreciate you. I hope you have a good one.